Hello, I'm Captain Doug Hunter of the Wayne County Sheriff's Office, and I take care of the social media needs of the office. For some time now, I have been interested in bringing you video interviews with some of the convicted criminals from our area. This is done not as a way to glamorize these individuals, but rather as a way to share their experiences and hopefully have others learn from them to where the same mistakes are not made over and over. I'm a firm believer in prevention is much better than incarceration. If we can steer our young people away from committing these crimes, it is going to be much more effective than incarceration or probation or any of these type things. We need to learn from the mistakes from those that have went on before us. Now, David has committed many crimes. He became involved with the legal system when he was just 11 years old, when he was caught trespassing on a neighbor's property while riding an ATV. Since then, he's been in much more trouble than that and has been to prison for burglary, has been involved with heroin, and he has some insight into that. I want you to listen as he tells his story. I apologize that the audio in this particular segment is not what I would want it to be, but I did not want to go back and reshoot this, as he was totally pure and I felt like he was being very honest as he told his story. His story will be brought to you in several different segments, each of them about 5 to 7 minutes in length. So now let's watch and listen while David tells his story. Why is heroin such a big deal right now?
I honestly don't know. I don't know. Other than the feeling it gives you, I don't understand the allure, because if you're the person who is thinking you want to do heroin, then you must maybe know somebody who's doing heroin. Because you don't just wake up one day and say, I want to do heroin. You probably have a friend who's doing heroin, and you see them on the drug. And to see somebody on heroin is especially somebody who has a bad habit, is kind of a sad sight. The way they act, the way they handle themselves, and if you see them while they're sick, it's not a good thing to see. And so I don't know, like, there's so much negative that I don't know why people are drawn to it. I know why I was drawn to it, because I had a stepping stone to heroin. But as far as if somebody isn't already addicted to pain pills, they've never tried it before, it just sounds dangerous. And that was my initial thought with it. I didn't want to try it. I didn't want to cross the line from pain pills to heroin, which I never did. But when you hear about the people overdosing, and you know, that's scary.
You know, one of the things that is, I don't want to say in the news, but right now we're getting ready, the law enforcement community here in Wayne County is going to be outfitted with Narcan to, you know, reverse heroin overdoses.
Yeah.
Do you feel that that could possibly cause people to put themselves more at risk, knowing that the antidote is
No.
right out there?
No, I don't think it's going to change people's using habit. I think it's an extremely good idea. I think that if a law enforcement officer or somebody, whoever shows up first to this situation, has a tool to save somebody's life, that's great. I think that should be. I think it probably should have been done before now. I lost a friend a few weeks back to heroin, and I think that the community should have maybe even kits they pass out to heroin users that have the Narcan, where you could go and a heroin user could get this, because there is a moment where I overdosed once, and there was a moment where I knew that I was overdosing, and I probably could have stopped that from happening. Or if one of my friends who was there at the time, they had access to it, they could have stopped it from happening. So, but me having Narcan on hand, even as when I was at the height of my heroin addiction, if I had had some sitting in the cupboard, I wouldn't have used my heroin more dangerously. I wouldn't have done extra shot of heroin because I knew I had Narcan. And it's just...
And is that because you would feel like you wasted the heroin? I mean, if you shoot up and Narcan takes that feeling away, or...
No, it's just because as a heroin user, you never... I know some people may push the limits with it or something. I don't know, but most people I knew who did heroin, and when I did it, it was at the height of my addiction. I did just enough to stay well at that point. If I did too much, it was because the new heroin I bought was maybe stronger than the last heroin or something. It wasn't because I decided to do a little extra. And I don't think, like I said, if I had some Narcan at my disposal, I don't think I would say I can do a little extra because my girlfriend can save me or something.